Hello and welcome to this edition of Diaspora Central. I am Gil Ingles, and with me today in the studio, ladies and gentlemen, I have that one Angolan lady, the one that keeps Angola's name on the map in the Diaspora USA, the one that has been awarded by the Diaspora, the Africa Diaspora Awards, Miss Katumbella.
Hello.
Welcome to Diaspora Central.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So today we finally made it, huh?
Yeah.
It's been quite a while.
Yep.
Ready to talk about it? Yeah? Your journey.
That's true.
It's all about you today.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all about me, huh?
Yeah.
I don't like being in the spotlight,
No,
even
that's
though
what-
as a singer.
Well, being on the spotlight sometimes is a good thing because shows like this kind of give not only you, it also gives your fans an opportunity to really get to know you a lot better.
Absolutely.
Right? And understand you a lot better, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, I mean, everyone has got a perception of what something should be without completely understanding really what they looking at or what they dealing with, right? Now, shows like this give you an opportunity to actually understand and see. So we want to know the Katumbella, right?
Right.
Now, let's kind of get started and kind of establish your heritage. You were born in?
In Luanda, Angola.
Born in Luanda, Angola, right? So what schools did you go to in Angola?
Well, I don't remember the kindergarten schools and all that stuff, but I went to Mutu, Yakevela,
Okay, Mutu.
and then I went to, what is the other one? IMEL,
Okay.
Instituto Médio
Okay.
de Economia, de
Okay.
Luanda.
Okay.
Yes. So I went to those two when I finalized my degree at email. Then a few months after, I found out that I was going to come to the United States.
Okay.
Yes, all a surprise. Had
Yeah.
like a farewell with all my classmates,
Yeah.
to which I am still in contact till this day.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then I came here with my oldest brother,
Okay.
and to my surprise, I didn't know anything about bills, honestly.
Oh, okay. And by bills, you mean like
I
actual
learned-
bills
yeah,
of
like-
getting paid and
Getting paid.
yeah.
I learned only here when we were about to rent an apartment
Okay.
that, oh, I'm supposed to pay for water. So the water that we used to have in Angola all these long, it wasn't free.
Right.
And electricity, even though it goes on and off all the time, it wasn't free. So at that point in life, I started kind of realizing what my parents really go through, and how the struggle is real.
Right.
So I started realizing that, and then responsibility just kicked even more, even though I was always responsible from an early age,
Yeah.
like of being like 8, 9, 10 years old, that I took care of my siblings and so on, and
Yeah.
cleaned the whole house and learned how to cook.
Yeah.
So
Are you the oldest one?
I'm the second,
Okay.
but the oldest female.
Got you. So
Right.
okay, so you did mention your older brother. So you and your older brother came here,
Yeah.
and both of you guys came in to go to school.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now question. And before we get into it, because I just want to tie up something. Don't forget where you were gonna go. I just kind of want to tie up something. So as a little Katumbella, right? At that point, probably not even Katumbella yet. What were you called at home?
At home, I'm called either Solange,
Solange.
or Casola. Casola,
Okay.
that one is
Casola.
close. It's close.
So,
It's
Casola.
close to home. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Casola, that's Umbundu, right? Yeah. And
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Well, it's the, what is it? I was born after twins, so
Okay.
that's why they called me Casola.
Gotcha.
So like the newborn after the twins.
Got you. Okay. Okay. Casola. Wow. That's interesting. Learn something new every day. But okay, so
There might be a proper meaning to it,
yeah.
but that's
no,
all I know.
no, that's good. That's good because I can now call you just Casola.
No way.
I'm kidding. So, At Solange, at what point do you start to notice that you're into music? Were you already doing like things pertaining to music, to entertainment, or to either singing or songwriting at that point in time?
So I started very at an early age. As a child, I used to sing. I remember going to this function with my uncle, and then like there were other kids around there, and I was also there. Like I just love the entertainment
Got you.
world.
Yeah.
And he took me. I won something. I think it was a doll or something. but
do you
but it
remember?
was like I was probably 5 or 7. I don't recall the age, but I remember just singing around the house the whole time. And my siblings just telling me to shut up. Like I would hide myself in the bathroom, and even being in the bathroom singing, I would still have like comments and of them like, oh, please, no noise, blah, blah, blah. And this kept on going. But so from an early age that I loved music, right? And when I was, while in Angola, while going to school, every single day after arriving from school, my parents kept the stereo in their bedroom, right? So I used to go there, lock myself, and listen to music, all different genres.
Wow.
Every single week, what I used to do is to learn is every single week, it would be a different genre of music. I listened from like way back then, Michael Jackson, Wes Madiko, all of those other names. Like even like rock, soft rock. I listen to all.
Yeah. So at that point, you have not yet had any formal vocal training or anything. You just and what are you envisioning at that stage in your life? And from like, what are you envisioning yourself on stage? Are you envisioning yourself? I mean, what exactly are you envisioning at that point in time?
I always have a vision, right? Like it's just I integrate myself into the moment of the way I'm listening, and it's just like all sets of emotions that come into me, and it depends on the genre of what I'm listening to this week, and I get myself into that moment where I'm physically at that place, but spiritually I am out.
Else.
Yes,
right.
I am out of there.
You travel to whatever.
Traveling around the world, I would always imagine something like New York, and just being there and like singing my heart out. I always envisioned myself to become well known internationally. So that vision has started from way back.
Got you.
Early age.
Yeah. So you are now this young lady who has gone through elementary school, loves music, loves singing. Your parents probably at this point have noticed something. And maybe because, I mean, if your siblings are telling you to be quiet, I know that your parents got to be either saying, okay, leave her alone, or no, really, like, can you please stop, right? But you consistently pushing that envelope to where you know exactly where you want to go, and you know exactly what make. So at what point do your parents, at what point do they become receptive and they like, you know what, wait a second, I think we got something here, and even your siblings kind of noticed that, okay, I think we got something here.
So see, they've always been receptive. And acknowledge the fact that I like to sing.
Right.
But they never saw it in a serious level, especially due to the economic and social conditions in Angola.
Right.
Way back, right? Because even in 92, we were still going through a period of war.
Right.
So I had to like just keep on singing, keep on that was just like an enjoyment for me around the house.
Gotcha.
Right? And then when I arrived in the United States, the focus was education. It had never been that, here you go, I want to do music.
Yeah.
I remember, even back in Angola, after I finished the email, right?
That's high school.
What is that? High school,
Yeah.
right? I remember my oldest brother and I, we were sitting in like outside, and my parents were asking us, okay, what are you going to do? Like,
Okay.
what major are you going to pursue?
Right.
And in Angola, in high school, you can focus already, because I focused
Yeah.
in accounting,
Okay.
right? But I didn't really like it so much. And I said, well, I really want to do music. So there was a stop right there. Like
Right.
for parents, African parents, and music, it like, I don't know, at this point now we are being more modern,
Right.
but way back it was not acceptable.
Yeah.
So
it was, music was more like an entertainment thing, not
Yeah.
a real career, right? They
Exactly.
wouldn't look at it like something that could be a real career.
exactly.
Okay.
And so for that moment in time, I recall I persisted, I insisted, I told my parents, no, I want to do music. And like my oldest brother was like, I'm going to do engineering. Okay. And then they were telling me to think about a degree or like a major that I could do. But I said, I want to do music. I want to learn music. No, you have to choose something else. So then I said, okay, I guess I'll just continue accounting.
Okay.
But at the same time, I also thought architecture, so that, because I was real good in drawing.
Okay.
And I thought maybe because that is in the art,
Yeah,
area,
you
I
give
could,
you-
I could just integrate there. But then all of a sudden, for some reason, okay, economia, like,
Wow.
okay, let's just do that. So I came here, and the focus was education.
Okay.
So I'm the one who had to find the time to balance between education and passion for music.
Wow.
So I kept on doing that. While I was doing that, they always wanted to make sure that I'm not deviating, that my
Gotcha.
grades were in check,
place, yeah.
everything. Yeah. So I kept on doing that, and it's interesting, long story short, only now that I'm a grown-up woman, that I own myself, I have my
Right.
own job, that
Right.
my parents accept,
The fact that you-
that I can sing, that I, it's like they always accepted that I can sing, but only now that they are okay with it. Why? And I, for a long time, I actually did not understand this principle.
Okay.
But now I understand. All they wanted to make sure is that I would have a career, a better education, and be sustaining my own.
Right.
So they just wanted to make sure that I would be okay and not dependable.
Right.
And so now I understand, but there was a time in my life,
Yeah.
a few years ago, that I said, man, all because of my parents,
Right.
I could be like pursuing, I could
Your
be
passion.
having music like a lot more, and I don't. But now it's like I don't blame them, right? For a long period of time, that in this my process of still growing up, that
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm blaming my parents for this. No,
Got you.
now it's like I'm taking ownership
Yeah.
of what I have become, what I know
Right.
to this point, and I am so grateful actually for the choices that were made, because
Gotcha.
I'm a woman of my own, I have a career, and now self-conscious, I can do my music as well and still pursue my passion.
Okay.
So
Now, before we go into a break, because we got to take our first break on. But before we go into a break, I kind of want to pose the following question. Of course, you landed in U.S. What was your port of entry? New York or Texas? You came straight to Texas.
It was Texas.
You came
in
straight
Dallas.
to Texas.
Mhm.
So eventually, at some point, you probably had to tell your parents that, you know what, although I'm going to school, I'm also doing music, right?
Mhm.
Or I'm singing.
Mhm.
Or did they just like turn on the radio and one day and boom, there you go, and they hear your name and they're like, wait a second, and they calling you?
Let me see. No, it was. They knew that I was singing because I started when I arrived
Okay.
here and I was going to school. I started singing in school, so it was a
Okay.
combination.
Okay.
I took vocal lessons
Yeah.
in school, and then I got into a choir
Okay.
while I was in school. So
Okay.
it was kind of like doing a major and minor.
Gotcha.
So as long as that was part of the curriculum, that was not a
You-
problem for them.
Gotcha. So basically, it was more like you kind of snuck it in there as your minor, and you kept it going as your minor, because at that point you also just learning how to read music.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. But let's go ahead and take our first break, and we shall be back. And let's take a look at some images of Katumbella actually performing, so that you guys can actually see and understand how powerful her voice has become. We'll be back in next 2 and 2.
Tua di cola, tua lembra, e agora? E agora?
And we are back. If you have just tuned in, you are now joined Diaspora Central with Gil Ingles, and my guest today is Katumbella. Yes, the songstress, singer-songwriter from Angola. Katumbella,
Yes.
you finally find a way of sneaking music into your school curriculum.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you feel accomplished?
I till this day it's like there is so much. I feel like there is so much to be done,
Okay.
and
But-
there's so much that could have been done
Yeah.
that was not. So
But by being done, you mean like learning to be learned, or done that you could have probably accomplished?
that I could have accomplished.
Okay.
Also, I had my. There was a moment that I was struggling like with doubts.
Okay.
You know, I was doubting myself. I was like, if I start this curriculum right now, obviously I just have to apply myself. I'm going to, after a few years, I'm going to get the results, right? But I was like, I don't know. I'm already too old for that.
Okay, so
So-
you became you became
Yeah.
fearful, which is probably normal, because under the circumstances that you came into a place in which you were basically learning music with kids who have been
Yes.
doing music their entire lives, right? So you probably need additional tutoring when they just kind of flowing through, because they've been through it, they've done it before. Yeah, but was there anyone that kind of encouraged you and kind of kept you in there? Any teachers or professors, the kind of tutors, and anyone that kind of kept your head in the game?
I kept myself.
You kept yourself.
I kept myself in the
Yeah.
game, and like what I decided to do, because while I was in school, I was like, okay, maybe I should learn how to play piano.
Okay.
And then I asked this classmate, I was like, when did you learn how to play piano? He was like, oh, when I was 3 years old. I was like, what?
Right.
Am I still going to be able to do it? And actually,
Yeah.
it is possible to do it, but back then my
Right.
my mind was not set to think like that
Right.
for some reason, right? I needed more orientation.
Yeah.
And then I said, okay, let me just focus on what I know that I do best, which is my voice.
Gotcha.
So I started taking voice lessons while in school.
Okay.
So my voice teacher liked it so much that she actually advised me to pursue opera.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was even surprised as
Okay.
well with the comment. But yes, I do have an inclination for it.
Right.
So, and that's something that I still try to incorporate in my songs. I want to blend in,
Today.
and I have not reached to the extreme, to
Yeah,
that
the
level
peak, the
yet.
peak.
Yes, but I still look forward to incorporating my songs that side of myself.
Yeah.
And so, yes, I had the encouragement
Yeah.
from my vocal teacher to to pursue, to sing. And so what I focused constantly were my vocals. Then once I graduated and I came to Houston,
Yeah.
I was pursuing a career in the corporate world, but at the same time I was looking for ways here
Gotcha.
to perform, to
Gotcha.
do music. So then I came in contact or found out about the HCC.
Okay.
So at
And that's
HCC,
that's the Houston's Community College. Right.
yeah, at HCC, I started also vocal training, and I took about a semester of music classes. And to my surprise, just the music fundamentals.
Right.
Music fundamentals.
Right.
When you learn in one day,
Right.
in one day, I was able to read my notes, my keys,
Right.
everything in one day. And that's when I asked myself, I was like, wait a minute. All
this
these
time.
years,
Right.
yeah, all these years, I could
Yeah.
have done it.
Right.
Why didn't I do it sooner?
You-
So then it opened up the passion, to continue to pursue. And so on my own, till this day, I am I have a keyboard at home that I practice. I practice my scales, everything.
Yeah.
I keep doing it,
There you go.
know?
So you basically you took the fundamentals and you started to apply yourself.
Music theory,
and
all of that, I started applying.
Yeah.
And it helps a lot. It helps a lot because I even did composition.
Yeah.
And it helps a lot for you to understand how to compose your songs,
Yeah.
how to know your scales, and for instance, dealing with a musician to whom you want to show your idea,
Right.
you have to then present
Exactly.
how you want this, what is the key that you want and how you want this song to be. And so I can do something like that on the keyboard,
Yeah.
show it, and then
You can do a
transfer to the-
reference. You can do
Yes.
a reference so that they can translate that reference into an actual composition.
Correct.
Yeah. Now, when is it that your parents hear you for the first time on that next level? When is it that you have that first performance that you like, ooh, okay, the one that scares yourself, where after you're done, you listen back to it and you be like, wait a second, this is me, right? Because that's when you really achieve that. It's like you hear your own voice and you don't recognize yourself, and you be like, wait a second, gracious. When was that?
That my parents heard.
Yeah, I mean, you because I'm assuming that after you heard yourself, you had to share with your parents. Be like, okay, see, I told you.
Let me think of different events because at this point they already knew that I was singing.
Right. But did they know really how good you were? Because I mean,
I think that's a question we need to ask them.
Right. No, it's like
we need to ask them because
I mean, it's kind of like this, right? I'll give you a plain example. Everybody in my household knew that I did music because they all knew that when I wasn't around watching television, I was not whatever, and they could hear keys going on in my room. And sometimes when I needed to do drums, since I didn't have a drum set, and sometimes I needed like specific sounds that I couldn't find on a keyboard, so I had to go get actual like pots or something to make those sounds, right?
Yeah.
And record that. So it was not, in all honesty, until one day they wake up and like my face is on the newspaper. That they like, whoa, this dude is like for real. He's not just playing around, right? And those moments happen. And my own moment was one night I laced something and I went to sleep very late. It was summertime. And when I woke up in the morning, I turned on the keyboard and I played that sequence back and I heard it back and I was like, what in the world was I thinking about when I did this? But that kind of good. Like, okay, I did this? You know, and at that point I knew that, okay, I'm onto something here. Yeah.
Okay. It's good that you shared your story because it helped me to recall a moment.
Right.
So this was still while I was in school. There was this song from an Angolan group that was in Portugal. They called themselves African Voices.
Okay.
And they were going to come up with the best of African Voices because they used to release sounds before.
Yeah.
And I actually learned to sing this song in Chokwe. Okay, it's called. It was a religious song. It's called Só com Deus.
Okay.
And in Chokwe is Ni Iye.
Okay.
So I learned to sing this song, and we recorded in Dallas.
So
we took it to Angola.
Yeah. So this is your first time in a recording studio, also.
I believe so.
In a professional
yes.
recording studio, okay.
Yes. And so we took it to Angola.
Yeah.
And I went there on vacation. And while I was there, I had some press being done. I went to Janela Aberta and performed the song.
Okay.
And then had some interviews on the radio.
Now, so the people can understand the dimension, because you just saying it like, you know, then I went to Angola, I went to Janela Aberta. People think that you just go to Angola, you get to Janela Aberta. Janela Aberta is not that easy to get to. I mean, you got to be some kind of good to get to Janela Aberta, right? You got to have some level of something to get to Janela Aberta. So, and when you get to Janela Aberta, the whole country is watching you.
Yes.
Right? So, this is probably the first time your parents are kind of like checking you out on a one-on-one basis. Did any of them go with you, or you went by yourself and they just saw you on television?
No, they didn't go with me. I usually have a cousin that goes with me.
What's your cousin's name?
Tony.
Tony.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out to Tony.
Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, they saw it. They saw it on TV, and then there was an interview on the newspaper Angolans.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh wow.
That also was released.
So you get television, you get press. One song gets you television, press,
and radio.
And radio.
So.
Okay.
So all of them was done, and this was all in. Like, I was working with Daniel Mendes.
Okay.
Don't know if you know him.
Yeah.
So I was working with
Daniel
him.
Mendes, the one that was in Portugal.
Yes.
Yeah, the one
Yes.
that I believe Daniel Mendes also manages SSP, right? Or used to manage SSP.
Used to.
The tall Daniel Mendes.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's
because he was part of the African Voices.
Right. Yeah. He was the SSP manager at one point.
Yeah. And so we had like a community in Dallas, right? We all met there. We were going to school there. And so that's when this whole started. And that's how I learned the song in Chokwe through him. And I sang the song. The song is beautiful. It's very beautiful.
So hold on.
And
Daniel
so that's
Mendes
how
went
it
to
was.
school. Daniel Mendes went to school here in Dallas also?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's interesting, because I didn't know that.
For a period of time.
Yeah. No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I've been telling him his secrets now.
No, which is actually a good thing, because you know sometimes it's like, and that's what Diaspora Central is really for, is to kind of make those connections, because we're supposed to tell the stories right, or our stories in our own voices, so that no one can distort them, and that's the real purpose of
Absolutely.
this. Yeah. So I just learned something else new. So now you're sitting out there. You're on the radio. You're on television. Did the song go on circulation on the radio? Stay on rotation?
This it stayed only for the period of time that I was
That you
there.
were there after you
As
left.
soon as I
I mean,
Why is it always like that?
well, because I mean, you gotta remember, this is a very highly disposable industry. It's like something is just hot and hot. In Angola at that point in time, television was become the primary medium. So it was almost like, okay, unless they could really have a lot of visuals to go with it, chances were, okay, she's not doing any shows, let's get some samba here and some kizomba and some other stuff. So you get back from Angola now, I'm assuming you're excited.
Yes, I was so excited. So just going back to the parents thing. So yes, at that moment they participated into the whole process, right? They saw it on TV, they saw the news on the newspaper and everything else. They were happy.
Okay.
They were happy. I think at that point, that's when they started taking on a serious level.
Got you.
But because I was still going to school,
Okay.
then the focus was, okay, you're taking this on a serious level. Whenever you finish, then pursue it,
Okay.
with all your strength. So yeah.
But not it's like it was like, okay, finish what you started, and then you can go ahead and do this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you get back to the US, and of course your perception of music at that point in time also changes, because now you've been exposed to big time, right? Almost to a early level of stardom, because now you're recognizable. You can't just walk down the street. People know, oh, that's the girl from America that sings.
Yes, but not to that extreme.
Okay.
I understood that I was living a moment of stardom
Yeah.
while in Angola.
Okay.
And then when I arrived, to me, it felt like, okay, that moment, it was glorious, it was wonderful, but it's put aside now because my focus has changed.
Yeah.
Like, I really needed to focus on going to school.
Gotcha.
I was like, while here, I was still being the sister and the mother for my siblings.
Yeah.
So even though the mother part, when you're a sister, I just understood later on that for my siblings is like, when you are a sister, continue to be a sister. Don't act like a mother, because they feel,
Yeah, you take that role. If you take that role, they'll welcome that role, because it's
so I had so many other responsibilities to take care of, and I wanted to separate the two.
Got you.
So that I could focus, and to a certain level, I kind of felt some fear, because I didn't know at that point in my life how I was going to handle everything. How can I handle going to school and doing music on a serious level?
Okay.
I just didn't know.
Okay.
So I came here. I continue to go to school. I said I still have many years to graduate.
Yeah.
So let me just focus on that. But at the same time, I'm still going to work on music. I'm still going to do music while here. And that's what I kept on doing. I kept on singing. Because even in Angola, I just missed to say this, that I used to sing in the church.
Oh, okay. So
Angola.
So then you were already kind of sort of exposed to singing in a group and being in front of a crowd, or in the
church you are sitting,
in the choir
along
pews.
with the choir,
Yeah.
and you sing all those wonderful Christian songs.
Yeah. What denomination are you, if you don't mind
I
me
am a
asking?
Christian, but I grew up Catholic. I grew up in a
you're
Catholic.
Okay, so
church.
you're Catholic Christian. Okay, cool. And you still Catholic?
I don't.
You're
Ever since I arrived,
you're
it's so so
Mm-hmm.
I like ever since I arrived
Yeah.
in the United States.
Okay.
At that point, I went to a 7-day Adventist community,
Okay.
and I was going to church over there.
Yeah.
So here I am, raised in a Catholic environment, and then
Inserted into a
exposed to
Seventh-day.
Seventh-day Adventist
Yeah.
community, and this in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
And now in Houston, just Christianity. So
Okay. So
So-
you're non-denominational now.
yes,
Yeah.
because I consider myself a Christian
Right.
as long as you believe that Jesus came to save us,
Right.
and you practice, you worship.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because this religion here, religion there,
yeah.
we going nowhere.
Denominations. Yeah, denominations. Indeed. Yeah, let's take another quick break and kind of go through some more of your content, because I know that our audience likes the conversation, but they definitely like to hear you sing a lot better than they want to hear me talk. So let's go ahead and take another quick break. If you're just joined us, you tuned into Diaspora Central with Gil Ingles. And my guest today, Katumbella.
I'm doing it real big, like every day's my birthday. Work hard, but play way harder. Wouldn't want it no other way. Can't be in every city, and my drop top got it looking pretty. Got all my girlfriends with me. We here to party, yeah. Party away, party away. 'Cause we making money, yeah. Party away, party away, party away. Till the break of dawn. Do anything they want, I love it. I don't care what nobody say, I love it. Oh, you can talk, but I don't really care 'cause it's my life and I love it. Oh, oh.
And we are back. If you have just joined us, you're now tuned into Diaspora Central with Gil Ingles. And my guest today is Katumbella. Yes, definitely she's come to bless us and give us a share of her journey. Katumbella. So you're back in the U.S. Got a
Yes.
little bit of exposure to stardom in Angola. Now you got to get in the studio for real, because people now have expectations, right? They already know that you can sing. Now it's not just at home. Now Angola knows that you can sing. And when you come back, and some of the Angolans that were in Angola also come back, and they know that you can sing. So you were probably surrounded by a community. So at what point you decide that, you know what, okay, it's time to get in the studio and get this thing going? And how was that process?
So once the fear was away,
Okay. And what was the fear for? What were you fearful of?
the fear was of how. See, I was young, and I was like, how am I going to manage just doing music and going to school? Am I not going to deviate myself?
Got you.
For some reason, I thought, that. And I was even afraid of getting signed for
By a
for
record
music.
label.
Yeah.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We got to that level. So,
So basically, at that point in time, you shook yourself. Yeah, you got shook, like they say on the streets. You got shook.
yeah.
Yeah. Eventually, that fear goes away. Now you got to get in the studio.
Yeah. So it was just a mindset. I decided that, okay, I have songs. It is time to just go and do it.
And at that
And-
point, when you say you had songs, you had actually written lyrics
I've
for
written
specific songs.
At that point, I've written a few lyrics, and I actually started doing more of the writing lyrics
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
Like after a while,
Gotcha.
But way back, I was still like singing covers,
Okay.
and then a few of the lyrics that I had, and then I was also trying to explore a little bit more of the songs from Valdemar Bastos
Gotcha.
and so on, like
So the
those
world
songs,
music,
bonga.
world music sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, did you like commission a producer, a band? What was like once you decide to get into the studio? Or did you just pick up and you said, you know what, let me go in, somebody give me a beat, let me do something Did you, or you kind of picked up and you were like, you know what, let me connect to so and so?
No, the thing is, I don't recall exactly how I met a producer because once I was here in Houston, I came with the mindset initially of pursuing my solo career.
Yeah.
And I started singing in the community around and so on.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I joined the group.
Okay.
I joined a group that was put all together. The guys that were here, they were already putting a group together. And they invited me. They found out, oh, there is this lady that came from Dallas, and she sings. So let's have her to sing with us.
Okay, who were the guys? Because we like to get
I'm about to. So they named the group Conexão.
Okay.
I don't know if you were still around when this happened.
I mean, I was around, but not in Houston. I was in
yeah,
DC.
this was in Houston.
Yeah. What year was that?
In the 2008.
Oh, no, I was already here for I was already here for like almost 20 years then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was approaching actually 20-something years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so all of a sudden we were.
Yeah.
I only went. The funny thing is, I only went to support, right? To give give a female voice, but they still didn't have the name for the group, right?
Gotcha.
And then, so the members are Flávio Batista, Gildo Alves, Tiago Magno, it was his name.
Yeah.
Jefferson Garcés, Colombiano. Yeah. It was us, and Adilson Puna was involved with them, actually.
Okay.
Yes. I think Adilson was putting the beats
So
together
Adilson was the producer. Okay. And that's how you,
And then I joined, and we had an event in the community.
Right.
And on that event, I thought I was just as a guest.
Yeah.
And Gildo Alves says, after we were being interviewed, Gildo Alves says, we are Conexão. And I looked at like, what? Oh, we are a group now?
Yeah.
And so that's how it started.
Okay.
And just we kept on going. And I believe the first, way before Dallas. In Dallas, I went to a studio, right? But here in Houston, once with the group, then we started going to this studio from the producer's name is Anthony on the north side.
Okay.
He does like rap beats and so on. So we started going to that studio.
So he has a project studio.
Yes.
Okay.
And also with DJ Didas, we also started going to the studio.
And DJ Didas is Adilson?
Adilson,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we started doing that, and very much that was my exposure to, just to increase that exposure to being in the studio and so on.
Right.
So we did a lot of work, a lot of events around in the community. We went to like around the USA, to New York. We were being invited from the consulate.
Yeah.
And after a while, the group dissolved.
Okay.
And that's when I said, what I initially wanted to do, I better start doing. Because actually, while in this group, then there was another group, a band that I joined.
Okay.
So after,
what
I believe after Conexão, I joined the V-Saxon crew.
Okay.
which was V-Sax himself. He's he plays saxophone, and he's a producer as well.
Okay.
And I had Ugona, which is now Miss Ugona. Then we had Nena and Clarence. We had so many members of the group, right? And we were a band. This time, like before, it was just a rap, soul group. Right. This time, that's when I started with a band,
Got
right?
you.
And we used to sing here around in Houston, at different venues and so on. And when all of that dissolved,
Yeah.
that's when I had my transition to finally solo.
Okay.
Finally solo. So I was solo,
Right.
and immediately as I say, okay, I'm gonna go solo, I started working on my songs. I had a song that was produced by DJ Didas.
Okay.
The song "Don't Hold Me."
Okay.
Then I had these other 3 songs that were produced by V-Sax.
Okay.
And these 3 songs actually ended up being part of the Big O.B. productions
Okay.
for the movie soundtracks.
Right.
And so
So that's the
everything was
movie-
just shooting,
Right.
shooting.
Right. So that's the song that actually wins you the award for best
Yes.
movie soundtrack.
Yes.
Right. Now, I don't know if you know that actually we also had a movie. So that was approaching 2010, right? We also had a movie competing with your movie, the movie that you were on and the movie that we had that were actually going toe to toe, because we had also done a soundtrack for a movie, and you actually ended up, the movie that you were on ended up beating us.
Yeah.
Right. So, and
Because
everybody,
that song is so good.
yeah, and it was so crazy, right? Because when people get back, they're all saying, "Man, this girl from Angola, her soundtrack on the movie is what won." And I'm like, "What the heck y'all talking about? This girl from Angola? Who is this girl from? Man, how come you from Angola and you don't know her? She's from Angola." And everyone is talking about this girl Katumbella. And of course, I'm the one from Angola, so they expected me to know this girl. And I'm like, I don't know who she is. But the only thing that bailed me is that, I mean, I'm witty, so I'm always like, they like, oh, whatever. I'm like, yeah. So Angola took it. Okay, don't matter. Still, Angola took it. Y'all mad because y'all not from Angola, right? but
Yeah.
and because I don't meet you until probably 2 years
Afterwards,
later.
right?
Yeah, about 2 years later. Right, 2 years later when
Yeah.
But which is a very good thing and a very interesting thing. So what do you have going on right now, and what are the big plans for Katumbella?
Okay. So I just finished this show, right?
Yeah.
3 days of show, and I was the highlight
Right.
of all the
Right.
events, and received an award for the divulgação, how do you call the awareness of
work
the Angolan music.
that you have been put in for cultural awareness and
Yes.
and showcases.
And so right now I'm focusing at that. See what I was explaining, like at that point I was already writing the lyrics. When I released my album, like My Beginnings, most of the lyrics there I wrote.
Yeah.
99% of them.
Yeah.
And I also had the collaboration of one of my siblings.
Okay.
And
which one? You gotta
his
give
name
us
is
names.
Celso.
Okay,
Celso.
Celso. Okay.
Shout out to him.
Yeah.
He writes beautifully.
Gotcha.
And so now with that in mind, I'm focusing into writing. I have already lots of lyrics aligned.
Yeah.
And the next goal for me is to release some singles.
Okay.
Because I have lots of songs.
Yeah, singles. but I mean,
Lots of
singles
songs
or an
that are
album, because
pending.
I think your fans are probably waiting.
They're
for
waiting for an
already,
album, but I'll
right?
give them singles
Yeah.
for the time being.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there is a lot more of me that I have not given.
Okay.
Okay, and I still have to show the fans, and I want to show all the different aspects of my voice
Gotcha.
and my creativity, my art. I want to show that.
Gotcha.
And so, with that said, it's better for me to put it in the art form of singles with each particular song, so that they see the diversity and
Gotcha.
the range that I can give them.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So right now the mission is to go ahead and get a couple of singles, and you also had a video recorded at some point in your career, right? You had
I
a
did.
music video. What's the
I
name?
did.
What
I
was the
had
name
two.
of the song?
I had two videos.
Two
one
videos.
one for the song "I Love It."
Right.
It was produced by Eno Wheels, and the video was shot by AB Salou. And I had a lot of support from the community.
Okay.
And we actually shot it at Zanzibar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here in
Here
Houston.
in Houston,
Okay.
yeah.
And that's
Shout out to all of
now
them.
this is the Zanzibar that is still on. They used to be on Westheimer.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So we shot portion of that video over there.
Gotcha.
And there is another video, the video for Mama Kudile. I shot that video, also had the support of the community. And that song, it's a song that was, it's a version from David Zes, an Angolan artist,
Okay.
already deceased.
Yeah.
And his brother, Gabi Moy,
Okay.
I spoke to him
Yeah.
in order just to let him know that I was doing a version and for him to bless it. And he was so happy with the idea, and so I just
Gave you
did
the
it.
blessing.
Yeah.
You did it. Cool. All right. So we definitely looking forward into checking out the new singles that you're gonna be dropping soon, right?
absolutely.
Yeah. And also other developments in your life, because now you are a mother.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Yes.
How many?
Two.
Two. Okay.
Two.
Can you say
Look,
names?
let me tell you. Yes, my
Yeah.
first one is Melody.
Okay.
It's a girl, and the second one is a boy. His name is Gabriel.
Okay.
He's 1 year old. 1 year old.
There you go. and
I have been losing a lot of sleep.
yeah, no, but that's a
But-
good thing, because you know that it passes real fast. It goes by real fast. See,
Yeah.
mine, she just turned 21, and she's now going to masters to get her master's. She's now going to
Amen to
graduate
that.
school, right? So time
I look
time
forward.
flies. Yeah, time flies. Now, of course, you're not just a lady on stage. You're actually a lady backed up by your main man, right? Okay, why don't you go ahead and give him a shout out? Who is he? And
A shout out to
to
my
the,
family.
the one person that backs you up most of the time on stage, because
Oh,
you
absolutely.
have a band, yeah.
Absolutely.
Your band director.
Stage, my one man band,
Yeah.
my one of a kind, the one and only.
Right.
Emmanuel,
Yeah.
Stage name Baku.
Baku. I didn't know that, so I just learned
I
something
know,
new.
right?
So from now on, I won't call him Emmanuel anymore. I'll call him Baku.
Yeah, no, it's a
Yeah.
big support.
Right.
It's not easy to just control, because we are working with loops, and
The controllers.
he's
Yeah,
it's just amazing the
Yeah.
work that he does.
right.
It's amazing.
Indeed.
I have to. I simply stay there. I give the idea.
Right,
He plays by ear.
right.
And he just plays, he
figures it
puts
out.
everything, he records on each track, and then once we are on stage, he's playing the guitar and
And he's
stepping.
He's triggering. Yeah, he's triggering the
stepping on each track
other
to
instruments.
like
Yeah.
very much to play the song
Yeah.
in the way that it was arranged, and
Cool.
it's not an easy task. So
Oh, definitely.
it's a lot of work. So a big shout out,
Okay.
and much love to my one man band.
There you go. What's the name again?
Baku.
Baku. All right. And for all those of you that have definitely joined us, I appreciate you being here in Katumbella. Thank you for stopping by. Remember that this is home for you. Diaspora Central is honestly to share your story and the story of those that are living here in the diaspora and actually making the diaspora a place that is as pleasurable as it is right now. Congratulations on your recognition as one of the pillars of the community that is actually exposing Angolan culture. And we hope to have you back as soon as you put the first single, the first or the group of singles, whichever one you choose. So thank you very much for stopping by.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Gil. Thank you, Diaspora Central, for having me.
It's definitely a pleasure, and that's what we're here for. That's what Diaspora Central is here for. It's here to record the stories of those who are actually living the diaspora lifestyle. And for all those of you that joined us, thank you for taking time out of your schedules to be here. So until next time, remember one thing: if we don't do it for ourselves, no one else will. So take care of yourselves. Until then, peace.
Mama, we